So you close your eyes and you like literally visualize that green, you know, and you intensify it. And then what you can do is you can actually program the color, and you can put your intention of healing that part of your body. So you go, okay, I'd like to heal my arm or my leg or whatever, or my stomach or whatever part of your body you're working on. And just hold that thought for another 5 seconds, and then place your hands on whichever part of your body working on. So let's say your lungs or something like that. And you close your eyes again and you breathe in and you visualize as this green color is going into your body and adjusting and cleansing any density or heaviness or whatever is stuck there out. And so you literally see the grayness coming out. And you can say something like, Divine Healing Intelligence, please assist me to clear and release any of this tension, pain, whatever you're working on. And then I ask people to repeat the word clear, which I have in my book. And the reason you do that is say clear, 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 because you want to clear that out of your body, but it also clears your nervous system so that the messages come through clearer and better. And then for people who have problems with their memory, it really helps for you to remember things, because now your brain starts to get clearer, you know. And then when you're asking for something to manifest in your life, you're going clear, clear, clear. And again, the universe goes, oh, you want to be clear, this is what you want. So I love when, you know, one thing can kind of work on different levels. And as you're saying that, you should start to, you know, relax and feel a bit better. But in my book, there's so many processes and more in-depth and really helpful. But this you can do anywhere, anytime. So let's say you have a headache. You read about it and you go, all right, headaches are to do with stress, overwhelm, tiredness, seriousness, too much going on. So just by reading this, I already know I need to slow down. If somebody's getting headaches again and again, they have to slow down. They have to release the stress. Now, there is a process in the book, in the section of emotions to do with stress. So I might go to that section. You do the process in the head, but you can go further. Let's say you go, all right, but what else is in the head? Oh, the brain. So then do the process on the brain as well. Maybe not on the same day, maybe on the next day, maybe on the same day. Depends how fast you want to heal. So you connect things. You might go, actually, you know, it's in the middle of my head. So maybe I'll do process on the hypothalamus because that's where it is, you know. And since hypothalamus is connected to our balance, why not? You might go, pineal and pituitary glands are there if you have a headache around here. Excellent, I'm going to go and read about the pineal and pituitary gland, and I'm going to do the process because they are connected to hormones and hormonal balance, and we want the body to be balanced.
It's interesting that you were saying that, because I've been dealing with a little bit of an issue with my lungs, and you kind of spoke to that right off the bat. So the intuition is continually working for you, I guess, all the time. It doesn't really shut itself off, does it? It's just kind of, you see something and you move towards it.
Yeah, you know, and I think actually it's really interesting. The color you would use for lungs is orange, because it's one of the best colors for anything to do with respiratory conditions. And in terms of thoughts and emotions, which is what I put into my book, in the lungs, you know, there's definitely a bit of tension and stress, but it's also, you know, about sometimes we hold ourselves back from communicating, or, you know, it's almost like we hold a breath and we don't breathe deep enough. So it's really important for people to take the time to relax the shoulders, to breathe, to get the energy to move through. So very important, you know. And sometimes there's also, you know, deep sadness that you might not even be aware of, or hurt, or even a disappointment that can be stored in the lungs, that sometimes you'll remember it and acknowledge it, and it will release. And then you go, oh, I just feel so much freer.
You're just going to let it go. And let it go through.
Yeah.
Very interesting. So talk to us a little bit about where you're going from here, and what awaits Ina Segal, I guess, in the next couple months.
Well, I'm traveling all around the States, so I'm so excited, you know, to do that and to be here, and also to Europe, and just talking to people about my book, The Secret Language of Your Body, and also about how they can heal themselves. And the other thing that really excites me is that healing doesn't have to be a lonely experience, and it can be a very fun experience, you know, especially when you work with colors, and I have a whole section on it in the book, and even a color card deck that people can play with.
Oh, really? That's fun.
Yeah.
So you can kind of be interactive and sure.
What I want people to know is that you can get groups together and you can work together in your healing, and it works even better because, you know, you can learn from each other, and it's so much more fun. And so I really hope that people do both on your own when you need to, and then with your family or with your friends. And this is the kind of work and book that you can share around and just practice and try different things, and then see what works, what doesn't, and then adjust it. I'm always open to people changing things and making it their own, and because to me that's real empowerment. Make something your own, you know, be creative, be playful, and have fun, you know.
Talk just a little bit about Louise Hay. I don't know how much she's influenced you, but she's obviously very well known in the healing community, and it seems like there's some similar things that she talks about in some of her work as you do.
I always loved Louise Hay, you know, and her work, and I saw her book when I was quite young, and I remember reading and going, wow, this is really fascinating. This is, you know, like, I love this. So she's just been an amazing inspiration, I think, to me and to so many other people. So I really honor her, and I thank her for opening the door to all of us, you know, and so I'm definitely just grateful.
Do you have anything specific from her maybe that you thought maybe that you could talk to us about has influenced your work as far as one of her theories or?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the whole idea of how the body communicates with us. You know, I remember reading her book and going like, this is amazing. And some of the processes also in her book about, I loved the whole thing about going to the mirror and seeing yourself and looking within. And you know, I guess, you know, I did research when I was writing this book, both from my clients. It mainly came from my clients, but also I did look at Louise Hay's book and a few other books to make sure that we're kind of on a similar path. And it was, yeah, really interesting. There were certain things were similar, certain things were different. I just think, you know, the more people that can do this kind of work, the better. It's
sure.
Great.
The evolution of growth too, with it, you know, is bringing something new to stuff you've learned earlier.
You know, I kind of, she wrote her book quite a while ago, and so there's so much more information that has come up in the last 20 years, so I've discovered a lot, so I wanted to kind of put it all together. Speaking
of that, earlier we were talking a little bit about anger and moving through things. Talk about how anger and depression, or how anger can move into depression, and how maybe you use colors and you use the emotion of depression and to work through those things, what people can do.
What I find, anger, when it's suppressed or pushed down, often becomes depression. You know, it's like that suppression of different emotions that we can't express. So it's almost like there's a shutting down that happens. So for something like depression, if we're going to use colors, we would use red, you know, and we'd get people standing up, shaking their body, getting their energy moving, so that, you know, I'd put music on, like something really fun and energetic, you know, and get them to, you know, connect to that energy force that has been suppressed. Whereas with anger, I would do something different. You know, I would never use red for anger because you don't want to do that.
You already got a lot of red there for anger.
Yeah, so I'd probably use more like blue, and I would get people. See, anger is a very strong emotion and has a lot of energy in it. So we still have to get up and move our bodies, but in a different way. So we'd have to shake. You know, I'd get people to shake their bodies literally and visualize shaking their anger out. You know, or do something physical, because you need to do that before you would do just a process to let it go, because you need to get the charge out. You know, and so yeah, I would use blue or yellow or something, you know, more softer, and just get people to, you know, sometimes connect to what it's about. And sometimes I'll get people to transform anger into passion, because it's really close, you know. So I never say to people, you have to get rid of emotions, you just have to transform them.
Kind of see the positive aspect of where that emotion could be and use that.
Yeah, because if we try to get rid of anger, then we could get depression. So we just want to transform it and make it, you know, passionate and joyful and creative. Isn't your health the most important thing? I mean, you know, isn't that
what you should be investing in more than anything else. I mean, we invest in our cars, we invest in the houses, we invest in food, we invest all sorts of things, sometimes not so good food, in clothes. But what about your own self? You are the best investment you can make, because realistically, you know, either you feel good and healthy or you don't. Plus, you can't take your house and everything else when you die. So you might as well really invest in your health and have as much joy, fun, and health as you can handle.
We live in a culture of youth, and a lot of people are concerned about feeling younger, feeling healthy. So how would you talk about maybe some anti-aging techniques that you may use to help people feel vibrant as long as they can?
Well, some of them, you know, I've already showed you actually with the hands, right?
Right.
So this actually heats up the whole body, and it's a fantastic thing to get your energy moving. The other one is with the ears. So you actually massage your ears, and I'm not going to do it now because it's going to look strange, but you just really massage from up, down.
So just kind of start up
here?
Yeah,
and then go down, but really massage them, and you'll get this warm sensation inside your body. And then you can do it with your hair as well. So you kind of put your hand into the middle of your head, and as you do that, you actually awaken your brain, and all the blood starts to flow to your, to your head, to your brain. And then I teach people things for their face, So like we have a pineal and a pituitary gland right here. So it's a great thing when you wake up in the morning and you're feeling a bit hazy, or you're kind of like, oh, I have to get up. So rather than having that cup of coffee, you might actually just put your hands on your pituitary gland and rub it, in a circular motion like you were doing, and just do it for about 30 seconds while breathing slowly and deeply. And then, like under your eyes, you actually have kidney meridians. So this is a great thing to do for anyone who doesn't want to get eye bags, So you just kind of
tap?
Yeah, tap really gently for about 15-20 seconds. And then
it's kind of nice.
It feels nice, And then you can massage different areas of your face. I have got a CD on skin and rejuvenation.
My mom will love that one.
And exercising, drinking a lot of water, obviously nutrition. I'm always talking about nutrition to people. You must eat healthy food. And having great attitude, all of that helps you with anti-aging and being happy. The happier you are, the more your face kind of looks nicer.
A lot of it seems like common sense, but we don't follow a lot of it. And that's what's so great of what you're bringing in. So many things that people can follow. Anybody can take to it if they just listen to it and follow what you're saying here. And unfortunately, I think our time is about up. Is there anything else you'd like to say to everybody before you leave?
I'd just like to tell people that you can really heal yourself. Doesn't matter what's going on in your life, you can use different processes and the intelligence of your own body and the divine intelligence to transform your life on so many different levels. It's so possible, and I really hope to hear many stories from people who've seen this show. And please, contact me and let me know about different success that you have and your stories, because I just think we should be sharing this with everyone.
Well, we thank you so much for sharing with us today. It was
Thank you, Dan.
Pleasure to meet you, Ina. Safe travels. We've been talking with Ina Segal, teacher, energetic healer, and author of The Secret Language of Your Body, published by Simon & Schuster, imprint Beyond Words. You can also see her and all her work at inasegal.com. My name's Dan Horton. You're watching Oasis TV, and thanks so much for watching.